Okay, hi everyone. Ready for the first PBG's first AMA. Welcome everybody, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this growing community and supporting our project. Before we begin, let me, hold on, there's more people trying in. Okay. Before we begin, I want to make a quick announcement, a friendly remind you that those who registered will receive an email with a referral code valid only for 2 weeks. And yeah, this is on. Can you hear me? Perfect. Hold on. Hey, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Well, let me continue. Remember that you will be receiving a referral code, only valid for 2 weeks. And for each successful referral who meets, you will earn 0.25 tokens, PBG tokens. So be ready for that. Also, we'll be doing an airdrop of 0.25 PBGs to the first that joined this AMA and had submitted their Cardano wallet when they registered. And also, at the end of the session, we will host a live giveaway of 3 PBG tokens that will be randomly awarded to those who completed a pre-mint before this event. I will be sending the full terms of our website here in the chat so you can review everything. Here it is. Okay, now that's it.
Everybody is able to write on the chat, please.
Sorry?
Is everybody able to write in the
Yes.
in the chat?
Yes. Yes.
Great.
Okay, first,
So
let me introduce Pablo. This is Pablo, the CEO of PBG Token.
hi everybody.
He's going to be explaining us about PBG, what it is, how it works, and everything. Then we'll move to the Q&A question section, so you can ask whatever you want. And then finally, we'll drop the giveaway. Okay, so let's start. Pablo, can you tell us what is PBG and why did you choose Cardano as the foundation for this project?
Yeah, sure. Hi everybody, thanks to be here. Thanks for your time. I see many people still joining this.
Yes.
This is our first AMA, so please be patient. Okay. So, what is PBG? Well, that's a huge question, right? It's a big project, at least a very ambitious one. It's a DeFi project, but it's also a group of companies doing a lot of business on the blockchain, not just the Cardano protocol. We also have other lines of business like OTC deals and functioning as advisory roles for companies and government here in Mexico City. The main focus, of course, is our protocol, which is the largest and longest in all Cardano. It's 14 smart contracts. It's a big smart contract. It's 14 smart validators, as Christian always corrects me, right? I don't know if Christian is around here. Christian is our CTO. He's invited, but I think he's working on other things. So, okay. And yeah, so PBG, I mean, is what it is, a DeFi project. It's a special protocol for asset management. So basically you can manage any kind of digital assets on chain. So that's big breakthrough, right, in the Web3 space, not just in Cardano, both products as well, but not so secure, not so reliable. So yeah, we'll be talking about that later. And so yeah,
Great. Great. Thank you, Pablo.
let me
And
read the question. Is there a place where I can read the question because sometimes my mind goes, you know.
yeah, let me send them to you.
Okay. So yeah,
Okay.
that's G.
Okay. What makes PBG different from traditional asset management?
Yeah, basically the protocol, right? Basically, you're being able to do all the asset management on chain. So it has a lot of advantages, right? In which it's fully transparent, it's auditable, it's like reliable, secure. So there's no like hidden like books, in the asset management industry. Sometimes they have double accountability. You guys most know about this famous case. What was his name? This from Stanford or something like that. This is the Madoff guy. You know that guy, right? So he basically was doing double accountability here in the banking sector as well. There's a lot of sometimes even above the regulations, they sometimes do that kind of practices, malpractices, of course. Yeah, on the blockchain, you're able to eradicate all those kind of issues. And so yeah, so that is how it burned. It was burned. The project was thought from the beginning to be like the most transparent and reliable way of showing things around. Like, so what are you doing with the assets? Are the assets really there? If you're doing all the asset management in the blockchain, then you have fully visibility, full visibility on the proof of reserve, right? So you know that the assets are being held are there, right? Because they're on the blockchain, right? So there's many kind of advantages. So I would say that's the biggest differentiator. Also, as it is tokenized, right? So it's also kind of like a medium of exchange, if you want to see it that way. Like it's just a coin. So now you're able to pay even with a portfolio, which that's another huge difference. You cannot be able to pay with another portfolio anywhere, right? You might be investing in a bank structure, or I don't know, even in mutual funds, money market funds, any kind of fund, and you will never be able to be like paying or doing like collateralizing this kind of stuff, right? To have access to liquidity without selling the real asset, the portfolio. So there's many advantages in many dimensions besides security and reliability. There's also this user experience kind of,
Okay. Before we continue, I just want to say that please feel free to ask all your questions in the chat, and we are going to be answering them. Okay. Okay, Pablo, one more question. Can you explain how the revenue sharing model works for PBG holders?
Yeah, sure. Well, so the PBG token is the first. Okay, so the technology is called the DBP, right? It's acronym short for decentralized bulk portfolio, which is like a self-explanatory kind of thing. But so the PBG token has two properties. Like it has its own portfolio that is fully backed. It has the underlying assets. It has like intrinsic value, by the way. A big, huge difference from other crypto projects and in the whole space, because it's fully backed, right? Like kind of as a stable coin, but this is in like, well, I think you guys here have seen us before. You have seen that the PBG token is already backed by Bitcoin, gold, ADA, of course, because it's our native asset, and SNEC and World Model Token. And hopefully we're going to be bringing more underlying assets, but they need to be like very reliable. We're looking for real world assets. I mean, securities, the Max 7 kind of stocks. We're looking into that as well. So, so yeah. Again, the question. I lost.
Hey, don't worry. It's how the revenue sharing model works for PBG
Yeah.
holders.
So besides the portfolio, there's the PBG token also has this revenue sharing model, which happens to share the revenue of the other activities the company does, right? So it might be the OTC deals, it might be, for example, this is the first PBG token is like the minimum viability product more, so which we can showcase the technology, right? The strength of the technology, which is amazing. And so later on the road, we're going to be licensing this kind of DBP token model thing. It's like another way of tokenizing things, right? Like a really on-chain portfolios. So many asset managers, many hedge funds, pension funds, even little money managers, or an entrepreneur wanting to, maybe a trader wants to start like, you know, managing some family offices as well. So many kind of all the asset management as a whole. We're envisioning here a future in which all the financial world is going to be tokenized, right? You've seen Larry Fink from BlackRock, CEO of BlackRock, saying these things, and many other visionaries in the financial world, traditional financial world. They're looking to tokenize all securities, all bonds, all commodities, derivatives, everything, right? Real estate, art, whatever. So, which is going to be the best model or solution architecture for managing assets on chain, and to be fully compliant, really full, secure, reliable. So that's why we chose Cardano, answering the
First question.
Yeah.
Before we continue, Pablo, give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. I want to show everybody how to ask your questions. So hold on. Okay, here's how you're gonna ask your questions. On the right side of your monitor, you can see these dots. Just click there. Here's the chat. Just click here, and it's gonna show you the tools. And then you have this icon, and it says questions and answers. Well, here's in Spanish, but you will have it in your language, and you just click here and ask a question.
Okay, guys. Eric, or somebody from there, Andres, Rafa, Ricardo, anybody, Tabo, anybody that can ask a question to see if this works?
Yeah, we have already 2 questions.
Oh, okay.
But I just wanted to share with everybody, so you all know how to ask questions if you really want to ask something. And feel free to be asking on the way. If you have any questions, just drop them here. Thank you. Okay, let's continue.
So where are we at?
Okay, next question.
Did I finish answering?
This is more personal question, Pablo. Are you ready? What motivated you to create PBG? Like, what problem were you trying to solve? What was your main goal, your main idea?
That's a huge one. Yeah. Well, okay. Long story short, let's say, well, I've been in the financial market for around 20 years, maybe a little bit more. And since 2012, I used to have an investment fund, and it was a complete, hassle. It was, so the regulatory part was too complicated and time consuming, and basically it sucks, right? So what I'm good at and what I'm always focusing on is on the markets, like since trading, scalping, intraday trading, and many kinds of strategies, value investing, growth strategies, trend following systems, and many kind of stuff, and many asset classes as well, derivatives, equity markets, futures, currency. I was the chief currency strategist of a big family, family office. Yeah, so basically all my professional career has been around the markets. So when I was, yeah, and I also like kind of this entrepreneur mind, and yes, I built my fund and it was running everything well, and then the compliance side start like hitting, and there was a lot of trust issues, like how do I know these guys are, if you're not regulated, how do I know like they're not gonna be like embezzling my funds or doing kind of shady activities or so there's always this part, right, about the asset management, because one other answering back another question you were saying, Luis, other big breakthrough about this protocol is that this is non-custodial asset management. So for the first time in history, I will say, when you are able to manage funds and assets in a way that we don't have control of the assets, right? So basically, people goes into the bond, they go out, and they have full control, full liquidity. So it's 24/7, 365 days. You got what I want to say. So yeah. So back then, I closed that fund because my thing is being on the markets, not being with all this management and how to say, like, all these regulatory issues. So yeah, then I started trading by myself, and then in the pandemic, I started watching crypto a lot because of the volatility, but I wanted to be like studying what are the real like fundamentals of each kind of project, right? So that's also how we got to Cardano, because the Charles approach about the academic, the UTXO, that's a huge one. Everybody around the Web3 space, they don't even know what the UTXO system means, besides like the accountability-based system. Yesterday, I was playing golf with a friend of mine, and he told me he was in the FTX. There's I think around here knows what the FTX case happened, but they still have frozen the frozen funds, and they don't have access to those, and there's several $1 million there. So basically, he wants to, I don't know, he's going mad, and yeah, maybe he'll take 2 more years to have access to their funds. That will never happen on a UTXO system. So yesterday I was saying that did you know that Bitcoin or Cardano or even Cardano native tokens, they have these properties that it's like they're built for permissionless kind of tech and stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I lost the question again. so then
Your motivation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I think you answered it.
More or less. So basically, we start building on the blockchain a asset management solution for us, only for us, to be able to tackle all these uncertainties from the investors, like, where are my funds? How do I know you're not embezzling funds, or you're not doing malpractices? Like, so I saw like a real application of the blockchain here, and yeah, because many people want to build a project and have a token, and you can go online and build a token like for 3 clicks now. In many, there's many solutions around there. So yeah, so that's how it started. It was just for a personal, like, kind of solution thing for my fund, and then we saw like, man, maybe this is gonna be it's huge, because maybe there's a lot of other managers around, and they have the same problem, and yeah, definitely we need to scale this technology so strongly, or I don't know how to say it, to scale it, like to make it available for all the asset management industry. So that's the way the project is going right now.
That's the goal.
So yeah, it's a asset management solution.
Okay. Great. Actually, you already answered one of the questions from from the people here that it
Oh,
was what's the
really?
main goal of PBG.
Well, the main
So if you want
goal,
to go deeper in that,
yeah, the main goal I would say right now is to give the main goal would be access, access for two kind of investors, like retail investors that they don't have access to all these sophisticated kind of strategies with machine learning. Actually, we have a node, right? We have a special purpose Cardano node only is in its guys is the strongest node. And this node is a special purpose for trading, right? And for analysis. We can monitor, we can do surveillance on the flows. We're gonna be starting tracking the main players around ADA, Wintermute, Binance, Coinbase, the big ones. So all these guys, all their, you know, the flows, the ADA flows, right? Dexes in Cardano, man, yeah, it's a sad story. I don't know, many people are familiar with here in Cardano. So, okay,
okay,
well, yeah, Dexes, Cardano is a very little space at the time for all these kind of things. It's for, but yeah,
it's
definitely.
growing.
So yeah, so we have this node. So we have a lot of infrastructure, expensive infrastructure, and connected to machine learning models, like proprietary kind of quantitative strategies, strong ones, and we mine on-chain data, and from that data we go into process it through very specific kind of models, very sophisticated kind of stuff, and we also combine this with a lot of intermarket analysis, macro analysis, geopolitical analysis, all this kind of stuff. So we started like building a complete like professional strategies, right? And in this kind of way, mm, retailers don't have access. They don't have any, they cannot compete against like machines. No, actually, in the traditional finance, 80% of all the volume around is done by algorithms right now. So there's like a lot of things, and they're gonna be coming to the crypto world as well. So yeah, we're trying to stay ahead and to give access to everybody to like it's like to share because it's I think that's on the retail side, right? So that's pretty cool. So that's okay. And in the other way, for the accredited investor and traditional investors and all these institutional like big players, they don't have access as well. Again, the keyword access. So they don't have access to investing in very professional way. They just have like grayscale, like index funds, ETFs, like they're very passive managed, and they're like just a like a little basket, deterministic basket, and then you have exposure and that's it. But they don't even know like the real fundamentals of each protocol. For example, right? If you go deep, 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 deep in XRP or Solana or Cardano, even Ethereum, you'll find many critical issues, security issues, and reliability issues. And so these fundamentals, Wall Street is not like educated yet, or I don't know if they're going to be. Wall Street mind is very different. They always after the money. They don't give a shit, about like. So yeah, yeah, with many creative investors like look at us as an investment solution for professional management on this digital asset space. So yeah, we're tackling these two kind of access basically. Access
Okay, great.
access to yeah.
Thank you. Let's continue with a few questions here that that everybody wants to know. Like we have a good question about Bigger Boy. Maybe you kind of already answer it, but we can be more specific. Like
Yeah,
how does PBG stands out from similar Cardano-based tokens?
wow. Well, it stands out in many different ways. But first, you have underlying assets, right? You have intrinsic value. That's first, and that's a short one. That maybe second. Yeah, we are a real use case solution from the outside world, not the Cardano cult. Let's call it that. So I like these Cardano, only Cardano guys, and they don't go out of Cardano. And that's one part of the ecosystem right now. We're having problems with no big projects are coming in. No, there's nothing. Our founding entities are like, I don't know, bananas. They're just geeks doing academic stuff and blah blah blah. But where's the real business leadership there? Like, we are missing stables. We're missing real world assets. We don't have like major institutional players. Max 7. Where are the Max 7 guys? In Cardano. Where's Microsoft, Amazon, Google? Where are those guys? Who's talking to them? So yeah. Cardano is been left. It's kind of being left behind, but it will not, because of its security model and reliability and the UTXO, and it has a lot of decentralization. It's a big one. So it has many advantages, but at the same time, it has a lot of, shitty parts, right? Like transaction costs. Building a transaction on Cardano expensive as fuck. Slow. Yeah, okay, Leos is coming. Okay, guys, Leos is coming till mid 2027. So what are we gonna be doing for the next, year and a half? So who's building, like, okay, other projects in Cardano? Yeah, there's a lot of memes. That's a great marketing. I love memes. That's why we have some snake in our vault. Yeah, so and we're just getting started. We're so little right now, and we're also moving the markets already. So yeah, we need to bring the big guys, right? So this is a possible outside solution for the traditional finance stuff that it actually is huge bigger than the Bitcoin DeFi space, I think. But wait, yeah, Charles is betting a lot on the Bitcoin DeFi, and that's a huge one for sure. But I think there's a lot of many good targets we can be, pointing out.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know
Actually,
if that kind of answers a little bit the question.
yeah, it does. And actually, we have a question related to what you just said. And so this is the question. So beside crypto, will PBG include other commodities and assets?
Yeah, that's for sure, man. Actually, man, that's crazy. We're looking into moving our corporate structure to the United States after the Washington law starts, like, building, like the Genius Act, the Stables Act, all these things to go past and to be like a clear regulatory framework. In that way, we're going to be building over there, and we will probably be going to be the first securitized smart contract, or maybe PBG, or all the TVPs that are going to be going after they are security tokens for sure, man, because yeah, okay, how we test, this how we test thing, that's the parameter which the authority there is a thing from 19, I don't know, but it's old as F, and that thing is like, the guide to know if something is a security, and a lot of Cardano projects, or forget about Cardano, for a lot of other projects around in the whole space, there are securities, but they're trying to I'm decentralized, I'm in DeFi, so there's no clear regulatory path, so they start like doing, but man, things are going to be like settling, and yeah, we're aiming to do an IPO for sure. We're doing right now fundraising in a round A kind of way. We're restructuring all these all these corporate strategy and blah blah blah, and yeah, we're looking to do that. So yeah, actually we're like a DeFi startup, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. We have a few more questions. Is PBG purely a token or part of a large ecosystem?
No. It is. Okay, so the PBG, yeah, I didn't answer that. So the revenue model, okay. So we're aiming to license more like this technology for many asset managers to be able to, to issue their tokens, basically their funds. So yeah, we've been trying to reach Roger Baston from Franklin Templeton. He's the head of digital asset management there. Yeah, Cardano Foundation was with those guys, and they don't even know what they're having house. It's so fucked up, these entities. Okay, so yeah, so
Okay.
so yeah, So what was the question again? Sorry, Luis, I didn't answer fully.
Is it PBG token purely a token or part of a large ecosystem?
Yeah, it is this ecosystem of licensing more DVPs. So the revenue sharing model consists in that other licensed DVPs, let's say we manage to I don't know. The DVP, you must understand it as a blockchain structured financial product. So what is that? So it's the kind of like an exchange traded fund, but on the blockchain, and you have like it's ATIF 2.0 maybe, because you have like more versatility. You have a lot of more options. You can do active management. You can do passive management. You can do like a hedge fund, kind of the PBG token right now is at the moment. So you can put a benchmark, and if you outperform the benchmark, you can charge, or as a hedge fund manager, you can charge some outperformance or alpha fees, So and all on chain, of course. So yeah. So the PBG token is also gonna be like how to say, oh my god. So it will be gaining a lot of income on the licensed technologies. Imagine we're able to share this technology for BlackRock, Fidelity, Invesco, State Street, ARK Investment, or many other family offices, hedge funds, I don't know, mutual funds. So it's a huge, even some trusts, maybe later you want to build a building with a DVP, you can figure it out and you know start using more the blockchain instead of a trust structure. So there's a lot of, of
Possibilities.
yeah of applications, I would say, and all those applications as they start like having success, that revenue will come in also as a revenue sharing to the PBG token, besides the portfolio uh, yeah performance. Yeah, so basically it's kind of weird. Yeah, it's like you can call it a Frankenstein as well.
I'm gonna read you another question that I think you already answered it, but let's make it punctual. So is PBG only for big investors?
No, it is not. So as I was saying, what we're trying to solve, it's on behalf of the retail side and the accredited and institutional investors, which I already answered as well. So on the retail side, we aim to give access to various, like, investment possibilities. It's like democratizing finance, like just to level the fields, because in order to have access to these kind of strategies with this node, with all this machine learning, with all this, it costs a lot of money, man, guys, and it's a lot of effort. And we have economists, and we have mathematicians, and and it's expensive, right? So because if it's expensive, always the asset management industry is looking for the volume, because business is always on the volume, right? So here the main how to say the commodity, the prime resource to work with is money. So or assets, digital assets, right? So if you're gonna be like having exposure for 1,000, 2,000, even $10,000, no, even $1 million, guys, they don't even open the doors for you. So there's a lot of hedge funds around, so traditional like institutional firms. They ask very big tickets. So that's kind of not like leveling the field. They have access to the best strategies, to the best knowledge, to the best performance, to the risk management, and yeah, they keep getting rich and rich and richer. So our power, that's why we start PBG as well, because we thought like, oh man, our superpowers are like misaligned. Our superpowers is making the rich guys richer, and that's kind of fucked up in my opinion. So yeah, a way to challenge that was like, okay, all my professional career, all my education, all this many years wasted. Well, it's not wasted, okay, but all this kind of, you know, history, life history was like, how can I apply this kind of knowledge to make the most impact, you know, for changing lives, like to give access to, you know, it's like a traditional finance kind of sophisticated thing, but you can invest just like this, let's say $10. At the moment we close it, and you're just able to mint one PBG token, because we need to make like the full 100 tokens, like, you know, we're aiming to have like closed 100,000 tokens. At the moment we just like have this 20% in circulation, around that number, but potentially the technology, and yeah, that's discretionary, yeah, that's centralized. So that potentially thing is like a business decision, in which we say, okay, let's, if all the regulatory things are in line, of course, and we can make it like full promotion anymore, and it's securitized, we're ready to go like mainstream, right? So yeah, you could possibly mint $10, $1. Who is going to be investing $1 or $10 if you in a professional digital asset management firm or technology? Nobody's going to do that, right? So, but yeah, you can give access. So we're trying to build. Okay, so the mission of the company, of the PBG thing, is to build the best financial product, as short and precise as that. And it's very important to get that idea, because if you're not using the blockchain for building the best financial product, it's not going to be the best financial product. That's for sure. If you're going to build the best financial product, you try to choose the best blockchain around. And which is that one? The most fast, in this kind of scenario, for sure, is security. And then we see about speed and other things, right? So security. Do you think, guys, BlackRock is going to be choosing to manage $12.5 trillion there under management? It's only 10% of all the asset management industry in the world is BlackRock, right? So these guys, or Fidelity, I like more those guys, because they are the only guys that they are doing self-custody. The other 11 on the other 10 ETFs of Bitcoin, they're doing all the custody is done on Coinbase custody. If you didn't know that. So well, again, I'm going. Sorry. You have your microphone.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, don't worry. Good insights.
Yeah. Sorry.
Let's continue with the questions. This is a good question. How PBG guarantee the investment? Imagine a worst scenario. The PBG team stops working. What happens?
Yeah, that's why it's non-custodial, guys. You can be accessing the protocol. It's open source. It's already audited. We're gonna be looking for a second audit with the TXPy team. That's another huge guy from Argentina. And as you can see, we're like Hispanoparlantes. So we are, yeah. So basically, what happens? You go into the protocol, and then you burn your tokens. So when you mint, you create new tokens into existence. So the issuances happen, on a protocol level, and then you have access to the vault. It's that diversify automatically bots and stuff, and things happen behind it. It relocates, and you're looking for alpha and stuff. Okay, I don't like this. Okay, it's gone. What happens? It's on the protocol level. So the funds are on the blockchain. It's very important. We don't have any access to the funds. So that's non-custodial asset management. So that's pretty cool. So you go and you burn the token, destroy, on-chain, gone, burn. Sometimes people know it's like selling. No, it's not selling. It's destroying the thing. So you destroy the thing, and the protocol, that's the amazing part of this protocol. It's huge, and it's not Cardano. It's Web3. There's no other project on the Web3 that can do that. It's amazing. So, and it's a UTXO system, and it's okay. So these 14 smart validators, basically, it's who has access to the vault? Token holder. So if you're holding PBG tokens, You have access to the vault. You connect your wallet, then you burn the thing, and the vault recognizes it has oh, this guy used to have these kind of tokens, so now on chain automatically without uh, anytime from anywhere. Yeah, you go and withdraw. If you burn, you withdraw the funds from the vault. So basically, that's the way it works. Happens if PBG, yeah. What happens if Microsoft? I don't know, man. We are not Microsoft yet, but we're gonna be there for sure. And actually, good question, because yeah, that's what always we're trying to tackle. How to give the most investing. The investing world is about trust, right? So the best place to have trust is on the blockchain. That's for starters. So in the process, in the mission of building the best financial product, of course you have to be working with the best blockchain. That's Cardano for sure. And then also you need to integrate machine learning. Okay, let's call it AI. This buzzword, everybody use it for whatever now. It's AI this, AI that. Guys, AI. If you get to understanding how it works and all these kind of deep things, it comes from machine learning, right? So the machine learning, we have machine learning. We're trying to build like neural and deep learning solutions later on, and for all this asset management. Yeah, there's a huge, amazing project from one of the biggest legends, in Wall Street, um, about the quantitative strategies, which basically means data driven and all AI driven, or it's Renaissance Technologies. Jim Simmons just passed away. This guy is bigger than Warren Buffett and Ray Dalio and everybody. So this guy is like a legend, right? He used to be a mathematician, and Jim Simmons, he cracked the markets for sure. Many $100 billion under management. He's a big, and there's like a other co-founder of him. Like he's working on Ethereum, and they're building a very cool thing. By the way, I love those guys. We might later on integrate with them. I don't know, but they don't have the DVP structure. They are in Ethereum. That's kind of stupid, but yeah, that's what it is. And these guys, what they have this quantitative, like they're trying to build the contests of all the quants around the world. So basically you can collaborate with a project and you do your strategies, and there's also a robot that qualifies strategies, and then depending on the market conditions, that's how, and that's where we're going actually. So we're doing that kind of stuff. Like we have robots on top of robots that like looking which strategy works best in which kind of market conditions, right? Or macroeconomic conditions. So right now, okay, the Fed just downgraded. Come on, they just cut the rates 25 basis points. They're looking to more cuts for the rest of the year. How's this going to be impacting? How there's a lot of macro involvement. So yeah, again, I lost the question. What was I trying?
Now let's continue.
Sorry, guys. Okay.
You answered the question. The question was, what would happen if the team stops working?
Yeah.
But you said it's blockchain, so
That's why we're going public. Public, I mean, we're looking for an IPO. So
IPO.
Right now, we are working the corporate structure as any Cardano founding entity should be doing it, by the way. If you're a blockchain company, why not public, man? So all the financial statements and all this kind of asset allocation should be public. There's a lot of involvement, and so yeah. How can we guarantee? We cannot guarantee nothing, man. So we just guarantee that we do our best job, and everything is open source, everything is on the blockchain, it's audited in the security side. On the stability and reliability side, yeah, man. So yeah, on the corporate side, yeah, that's why we have our committees, we have our board, we have all this share structure. This is not as I was saying, like an improvised crypto bro project, So this is more like the professional kind of thing. At least we try to do the best we can to get there and to give the most uh, secure platform on the off-chain code. The off-chain code, Cardano is built that way. So you have the on-chain code, which is public and everything is reliable and sure, and the value is stored there. But on the off-chain code, that's centralized, and that gives that trade-off is a lot. It gives you a lot of, of advantages, right? So that's how the design of Cardano is built. So Charles was right there. He's a genius, of course. I love the man. So yeah.
Let's con
So how can we guarantee, man? Guarantees. I don't even know if I'm not gonna break my leg going downstairs right now. Like, there's no guarantees.
Okay, let's continue. Let's try to make the answers a little bit shorter because we still have a lot of them to answer, and we don't have too much time.
Okay, I'll start in the robot mode. Very deterministic.
Okay, perfect. Is PBG, this is the next question. Is PBG planning any major partnerships?
Yeah, that's a good one. Thanks for asking that one. So yeah, we have already some partnerships. Yeah, we're working kind of way. We're in contact with main entities for Cardano. We just have a call with the Artifact teams. Of course, okay, guys, I didn't answer the whole technology enchilada of PBG, right? So PBG has the protocol. We have to build our own Oracle solution because, man, these Oracle guys, Charlie Tree, Artifacts, they didn't have the on-demand. We're trading, we're moving fast, we're in the markets, right? So we needed on-demand, on-chain price data feeds. Actually, we have great solution. It's kind of decentralized, but it's inside our corporate. So even if it's like, it's centralized on the corporate side, but it's very decentralized internally. So there's nobody can do that. But okay, and it's open source, by the way, the oracles. So now we're gonna be as I said, looking to build the best financial product. So we need to make it the most resilient. The more resilient means more decentralization, more Cardano, more decentralized oracles. That's why we're integrating with those guys. But the thing about those guys there, it's a project they're moving on. And so yeah, we basically just are going to be consuming their data points on the Cardano native token side. So it makes just for SNEC or mobile token at the moment. And so that's major investment coming next, like right now. And I don't know, which other partnerships? Yeah, we're looking for partnerships, but I mean more traditional partnerships, man. We're looking to partner with Reality, for example. That would be the good one. We're looking for a talk with the Franklin Templeton guys as well. Yeah, that's mad. And this guy from the CEO of Cardano Foundation, they didn't, right, man. He was with Jenny. Jenny is the CEO of Franklin Templeton. They are asset managers with $1.5 trillion under management. And they don't even say, like, guys, do you know we have the best asset management solution in Cardano? They're called PBG, the PBG guys. And it's like, man, it's fucked up. So we'll start this kind of efforts. This first AMA is like we going outside and spreading the word and to try to give awareness, at least for community members and people around the ecosystem to know what we're doing. And we've been building for the last 5 years. Yeah, we passed many PhDs, many developers, nobody could develop this huge, complex protocol till Christian, the man himself, actually from one guy from Cardano Foundation, he figured out like what I was working on, and I was having a lot of trouble, and he was like, man, you need to know Christian. And I was like, who the fuck is that guy? And then he was like, no, man, this is like Messi, He's like, Messi? It's like, everybody knows Messi. Fuck Ronaldo. And then I was like, okay. No, guys, And yeah, so this guy built a special purpose domain specific language or something like that. It's called, and it's like the ICANN guys. ICANN guys is from IOHK, and so this is a Cardano language for smart contracts. It's a huge. It's amazing. Man, it's incredible what he has done on his own, and so he started modifying even the code failures to service the PBG complexity. Imagine that. So yeah, he was working on Amazon, and he understands the blockchain, the Cardano, all this, So yeah, we click, and now we've been working together for 2 years, and probably we should make an AMA with him on the technical side because man, yeah,
He knows.
I don't know how I came to that again. Oracles, and then we have the node, and now we have the bridges. Now we have bridges, proprietary bridges, of course. Yeah, and from the compliance side, they're like closed systems, but what they're connected to the major institutional liquidity providers around the world. So basically, we're working with all the guys that give the liquidity to BlackRock and the ETF houses, and so yeah, you can trade $1 billion, no problem. That's not going to happen on Binance, which happens to be the biggest of all the centralized exchanges around, right, for retail. And even Binance work with these guys. Yeah. So we are connected with those guys. So we're now we have all the access now. We're connected. So but Cardano has these liquidity issues in DeFi space. There's only 2, 3, 5 million ADA day on the last 24 hours. It's man. So it's like, yeah, child's playing with cheese tokens. It's amazing tech, of course, but there's no adoption there. We need to bring the big players here. So yeah, so that's why, because there was no liquidity, we had to build these bridges now. So okay, we don't want to rely on, for example, these guys from the node. They're called Block Frost. Everybody around here know those guys. If you want to do transaction chaining, aggressive transaction chaining in Cardano, you cannot do that with those guys. So that's why we have to build a node, a special purpose, and now you can do surveillance, and you can do like tracking on the flows of capital, and have like on-chain data for analysis purposes. But also it gives us a lot of how to say, all that technical parts. You can talk with Christian. That would be amazing for everybody. But yeah, I don't think here people want to get so technical, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's move to the next question. Okay.
Sorry.
This is the next question.
You seen the Japanese guy saying sorry. Okay.
Considering World Mobile and Corncopias, two of the largest projects on Cardano,
They're amazing, man. So what?
Both choose to deploy on additional networks because of the low volume liquidity in Cardano.
Kind of sucks, exactly.
How does PBG plan to address the liquidity issue?
We already addressed it because our bridges give us access to this liquidity outside Cardano. Forget about Cardano. Cardano is like the pond. I want to do this analogy from Charles. So yeah. How do we tackle liquidity? Well, we're connected to the biggest liquidity providers of the world, basically. So that's what the P assets are. P assets are bridged assets from other networks. We already have Bitcoin under the DBP. You can go and see it, check it out. Also, Ethereum, but we don't like Ethereum. So we have USDC. I believe more in the USDC as our analysis. Yeah, the USDT guys, that's another whole story. And so we have USDC, yeah. And we just did a $500,000 swap without zero slippage. You know that, guys? Try to do that on Cardano. So accessing the vault, yeah, we did that kind of swap. instant atomic swaps. So the bolt swaps atomically. That means there's many kind of swaps, right? That's very technical kind of stuff, but yeah. So we did atomic swaps, and for that kind of money with zero slippage. So that's how we tackle the liquidity issues for our own. We don't rely on. We're trying to on not relying on on other projects to have success. I love the guys from USDM. They're done amazing work, and yeah, we listed the USDM stable coin in Cardano, fully backed. It's amazing project, but they haven't been able to have $50 million ADA from the treasury to tackle liquidity. Man, that's nonsense, right? Let's start talking like grown-ups, and man, you need to start thinking in billions. If you're going to be starting, oh man, it's leadership. Trust me, guys. So, well, we are not going to be dependent. Our project is not going to be like stopped by. So we fix that through bridges. So basically, we have the technology to bridge any asset. If Wall Street, Nasdaq just like not the Nasdaq guys just announced they're gonna be like bridging with the SEC, Nasdaq and SEC compliant. They're gonna be all the New York Stock Exchange is gonna be tokenized, guys, and it's not gonna happen on Cardano. Sad truth, I know. But we're not gonna be stopped by that. So we're gonna be like, okay, if they choose Solana, okay, God bless them, but it's fast, of course. And okay, let's bring Solana here. So we'll be able to. I want to have Microsoft stocks, and I want to have US Treasuries and bonds on my DDP to start bringing professional asset management. And forget about Cardano, forget about Web3. Let's go to the pension funds. Let's go to the pension funds. Let's go to the banks and financial institutions. Let's go to these guys and offer new kind of products, tokenized blockchain products like the same kind of yields and security and risk models and very structured financial perks, right? But with not just Snake. Who's going to buy Snake? Come on, guys. Do you think the guys from I don't know, like Bancomer or Santander or I don't know, HSBC are going to be buying Snake? Guys, are you really that kind of man? Okay, so in that kind of way, we're going to be buying Snake. We have Snake. We love that, guys. We love the ecosystem. So yeah, in that kind of way, yeah, we're ready to bridge anything, anywhere, from Ripple, from Solana, from Ethereum, from you guys. Tokenize your fucking real world assets, whatever you want. We'll bring into the secure layer and secure infrastructure in Cardano, and we'll start teaching and educating all these traditional finance guys why Cardano. That is why Cardano. Yeah. So basically,
do you have any plans? Do you have any plans for the future?
Lot of plans, man.
Plans for the future, cross-chain support or integration outside Cardano?
Yeah, sure. Ripple just partnered with like the guys. It's not. It's Ripple with Vanguard. No, it's not Vanguard. The other Banek, or huge asset manager like huge BlackRock, huge. So BlackRock and Banek, they're just they went with Ripple, and these guys from Ripple, they're integrating all the asset management of these major institution, major asset managers with the RLUSD. It's a stable coin in Ripple. So yeah, basically we're gonna be like looking into that as well. Also, so yeah. So right now we're focusing more on the corporate structure and making the technology the most reliable as possible. And yeah, and raise funds and sell the 100,000 tokens. After that's a kicker. That so there's this hard cap thing around the 100,000 tokens, right? After they're sold, you know what? Everybody's gonna be asking to have this token because it has a revenue sharing from all the DVPs that they're gonna be. So secondary market dynamics are going to be starting in that day. So if they want to buy the PBG token, then they have to have access. So the PBG ecosystem is a whole ecosystem. We are plan we have plans for a credit card as well. You'll be able to collateralize your PBGs and have access to a credit line. So you'll be able to spend it with Visa, MasterCard around the world. And also having cashback in PBGs, which is a fund and it's like growing, right? So that's the third, that's where it's heading, all the project. So when everybody starts like asking like, oh yeah, we want this PBG thing, it seems to be like blah, blah, blah. And, okay, so there's no more PBGs, guys. It's gonna be, let's go buy it on the secondary market. And that's where the secondary market dynamics, price dynamics start kicking. Same as the stocks, in which you have the book value and the market value, right? So our book value, let's say it's going to be the fund, their underlying assets, how much the portfolio is worth. But sometimes, the crazy mind of Wall Street and, these speculators and stuff. So it's like, okay, how much is this pen? Okay, this pen is, I don't know, let's say, I don't remember, $500 maybe. So this $500 pen, okay, it cost 500. But there's other guy, crazy guys, I'm gonna pay 600 because I know I will sell it for 700. Man, but it costs 500. I don't care. I'm not fucking ludopata. We call that in Spanish. I don't know in English. Ludopati, it makes sense or something like that. But yeah, so that's how Wall Street mind works. So right now we're we're in a big kind of bubble on the equity market side, where all the shares, all the index are expensive. So what that means is all the book value of the company, let's say Nvidia or Amazon or whatever, it costs 500, but people is willing to pay like how many times more? Like 35 times more? It's crazy, those multiples right now. So yeah, that's going to happen on the PPG. That's for sure. We envision that. There's very short, like, how to say, like, offering. It's going to be only 100,000 tokens. And something very peculiar about the tokenomics of the PBG token itself is that because you are able to go and mint the token. So you create those, right, into existence. Then there's no, how can I say it? So there's no fully diluted value. The fully diluted value is equal to the circulating supply, if that makes sense for you guys. The guys that are like more used to analyze tokenomics from different projects, they always like issue a lot of more like a lot of tokens. Like let's say, let's take Bitcoin or Cardano in this, for example. Bitcoin, it has a 21 million tokens, right? Like a total circulation supply. But right now, in circulating supply is just like 20 million, give or take, around Bitcoin. So there's 1 million Bitcoin, like, so that's the difference between those is the fully diluted value. Okay. So FDB, if you go into the major, I don't know how to say this, like Billboard, Web3 places like CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap or TapTools. So yeah.
Great.
So yeah, those tokenomics, yeah. So it's like, it has intrinsic value. It's fully backed. It's a fully backed token that you can go and check it on chain, that the reserves are there. And yeah, and they change and they give you alpha. So yeah. So if you check our performance from since launch, we tried to launch, before the Trump administration, because we saw like this potential for the track record. And yeah, that's what happened. And that's why you saw, if you analyze our price action, And remember, guys, this is not sometimes like only intended for the Cardano community. So it's more like for people around that they're not even in crypto. It's like, guys, you need to. Okay, they don't even know how to mint. They don't even know how to use DeFi. They don't even know what's ADA. Okay, so give them a wallet. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? But wallets are coming and coming fast. And Amazon is going to have wallets, and Google's going to have wallets, and it's going to be the major infrastructure for, you know. Okay, so yeah, that's why we chose to launch on last November, before the Trump administration. It happens to have this speculative price action. It was fully on ADA. And then we start kicking in with the underlying assets, for the BBP. And that's when we only have access to Snake, and the Snake was the most liquid one and most traded on the Cardano ecosystem. So that's why we started with Snake and with World Mobile Token. That's a huge project. Amazing. Mickey, it's amazing what they're doing. Yeah. Tokenomics talks on World Mobile Token. That's a whole different story. We don't have the time now. And so yeah, that's why we gave exposure to some investors, to the PBG token guys, like to have these assets, Cardano native token. And that's when technology wasn't like fully ready then. So we couldn't like manage the DVP, to rotate the assets. Like, even although we saw the geopolitical problem in Middle East, we saw many things in common, and it's like, man, we need to hedge the position. And it was frustrating as fuck. And I want to be very loud on that, And then now, after July, so since 21st of July, so the technology was like ready. So the real price action is going to be like taking as a very good track record for if you want to hedge your position in Cardano and all that kind of stuff. It was since July. You can see the difference in price action there. So yeah, that's for insiders of PBG. Welcome, and thanks to be here for our first AMA. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pablo.
I start talking. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. Actually, we already answered all the questions. We only have one left.
Oh,
This is the last question before we move to the live giveaway. And the last question is, let's imagine everything goes according to plan, except ADA adoption, and the blockchain never takes off. Would that affect PBG performance?
Yeah, of course. Oh, well, man, you need to understand ADA. Where does the price comes from? ADA is not, it has these two components, the monetary part and the network part. So on the monetary side, yeah, we have a hard cap. That's amazing. That's a very big differentiator. So, okay, we are as professional, let's say, I'd say asset managers, crypto, digital asset management, let's say, we're constantly monitoring like the price action of Cardano. Cardano, if it doesn't have adoption, at least it's a UTXO system. It's decentralized. It's very reliable. It's never been down. So it has many advantages that no other networks can say or brag. So Cardano is not going anywhere. That's the major infrastructure here. And yeah, we're ready to move all the PBG token for fully Bitcoin, let's say, or fully USDC, or fully USD treasuries, fully gold. We already have gold in it. Yeah, we have the PaxG guys. Those guys are an incredible team, by the way. So before we start like choosing or imagine which kind of diversification the portfolio needs to have, or even choosing one underlying asset for us, it needs to pass a very straight kind of analysis in two parts. The qualitative part, which is the team, who are the guys behind, how are they structured, where they live, who the CEO is, Do I like that guy, or is he just a prick? I don't want to speak bad about the other guys. And the quantitative side of things, right? On the quantitative side, let's go and try to find out the financials. What about the revenues? What about, many APIs, like quantitative things? And so yeah. So in order to have underlying, we try to curate the PBG portfolio, the PBG token portfolio. We're working right now to start like the second DVP. So it's gonna be around maybe half year next year. I mean, second half, like maybe July 2026. We're thinking about maybe a stable coin solution, like a DVP, like we call it internally, like the stables DVP. So it can has inside USDM. Why not get? I like the algorithmic stablecoin. USDA, and we'll go, okay, but that's gonna be this because liquidity. And then we can bring USDC, and we can put inside also RLUSD, the one I just told you in Ripple, the guy that BlackRock and Bannock just chose for off-ramping their assets. And so we can build like a full basket full of stable coins in which you can manage risk that way. We wouldn't be charging like any performance fee, of course. We're looking into it, like maybe we can bring the cost to zero, like just for helping Cardano. Let's see if it works. But there's that kind of issuance. Yeah, we need to check the regulation. It's a regulation, yeah, strong game here, guys. So that's why we're looking into the United States full new administration, crypto enhancing, policies. So yeah, we're gonna be looking into that, and that's the path forward for second DVP, not also this DVP, because like a spin-off of, and then mother maybe a hedge, inflation hedge, PBG, more gold, Bitcoin, copper, of course, maybe some, we will see into that, rates, real estate investment trusts, something like that. So we're going to be building portfolios for different kind of like risk profiles. And after we're comfortable enough and we have like a very, very, very good technology, we're going to be like showing this to major asset managers and show them what it can be done. For example, in the traditional finance world, you need $100 million to launch an ETF. Okay, so if we're gonna go that way, and we're gonna be doing that, so we're gonna be, so we will need to be managing at least having assets under management in one DVP. It could be the PBG token or whichever, to showcase to the ETF houses, like, guys, there's not only ETFs. There's other thing, new whole thing, a new ball game. It's called DVPs. It's a decentralized, it's a vault, and it's also a portfolio. And it's the ETF 2.0 because it's fully on chain, it's non-custodial, it's tokenized, and mean tokenized is you can send it. I can send you PBGs right now. Actually, we're going that way. Let's finish this, Luis, and let's send them some PBGs. So okay, try to pay me with it. Okay, let me finish with this, guys. So everybody in the traditional finance world, oh, did you see BlackRock tokenized their fund? It's called Build. Like, okay. So what's the guys doing? Franklin Templeton, they have other 2 or 3 funds, tokenized funds. Okay. And what about Grayscale? What about these major players tokenizing? They're tokenizing just real world assets. They're not tokenizing an investment fund like a DVP, like all the assets on chain, transferable, means of payments and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so we gotta go, I think. Sorry, it's been a great long talk. As you can see, I'm flying and flying and flying, try to educate as much as I can. And thank you guys for joining. Yeah,
Thank you. Before we wrap up, we need to make the live
and send PBG.
the live giveaway. Yeah, for all the users that completed their pre-mint before the deadline. So I think we have a few of them, and they're going to win 3 PBGs. So for the next AMA or the next X space, don't forget to do a pre-mint. We have a lot of awards. I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to do a raffle. We are going to use this website that is called Wheel of Names. We already put the names there. So this is going to do it randomly, choosing the winner.
And I see many familiar faces around here. Jose, he's our co-founder. He's joining the space. Next time, you're going to be in front of the mic. What about Eric? Thanks for joining, guys. Loana, Rafael, Ricardo.
Okay, these are the four
Andres.
the 4 users that completed their pre-mint
Wow.
before this event.
Lot
So
of them.
yeah, so I'm just gonna click here, and we are gonna see who the winner is. And
Okay.
thank you very much for doing this pre-mint and for being here and joining us in our first AMA.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoy it and have some valuable information. Eric, that's another one. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Eric. You will be receiving your 3 PBG tokens later today, so be ready.
Okay.
And that is it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And don't forget to follow us in social media. We are going to have more events like this later in the month. We are going to organize another AMA with Christian, who is a tech leader.
Yeah, that's
And
one of amazing. Mhm.
yeah, we're going to have more talks to discover more about PBG and the future and what we are planning. So be
Jose is
ready.
gonna be
Follow us.
talking about strategies and quantitative and neural things, and you know how the robots work, and it's amazing, crazy talk if you want technical kinds of technicality.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
So thanks guys for joining, and hope you
see you
enjoy.
soon.
And welcome any feedback. We need to improve these kind of spaces, and yeah, hope you like the project. Let us know what you think. Peace out.
Welcome to the PBG community. See you soon. Thank you, Pablo.
You're welcome, Liz. Thank you, Carlos, as well for being hosting this space. And yeah, we look forward to make more and start spreading the word around. Thanks.